In this video, I'm going to look at some simple commands in a Linux command line prompt using Ubuntu. Mostly I'm going to work with make directory, some ls, and some cd, some change. So I'm going to make some directories. I'm going to change the directory. I'm going to move into the directories I made. Some things like that. Okay. So I already have, I'm in a folder that right now that folder has one little text file in it. Okay, so I'm going to run the command make dir, make mkdir, and then I'm going to call it folder 2. Okay, so I'm making a folder, and then I'm going to do ls to see what I have. And I have now two things. I have the file today.txt and folder, and you can see here in this this command line that I'm currently working in, it gives us some like formatting and formats the folder different from the file. So it's telling us that those two things are different by one is blue and one is white. Okay. Now I want to just play twice more with make dir, and now I'm just going to say, I don't know, a new dir. So I'm going to make a new directory called new dir. But that's what I intend to do, but this is going to be like a mistake. Okay. Now, if I do an ls, I see that I have dir folder 2 and new and then today. So it is, I did not make a directory called new space dir. I made two directories, one dir and one new. So if I wanted to have a name and a space and a name, then I need quotes. So I can make a directory new space dir and do ls, and then there it is. So now we see that there is a folder new dir with quotes around it, but with the space. Now I never want to do that. I don't like spaces in names of folders or files, but it's possible, and some people do like it. It's okay. So I just wanted to point out that if you do it naively, you're going to end up with two directories. So I would prefer just that people didn't do it, but if you are going to do it, then you do need the quotes. Okay, what else? So I have, what do I have? Let me do ls again. I'm going to move into that first subfolder, folder 2. So I'm going to say that is cd, so change directory, cd, and then the name of the folder. And now I have moved into that subdirectory, that's that folder. And if I do an ls, ls tells me what's in the current directory, and there's nothing in the current directory. We made it, 5 seconds ago and just moved into it, so there's nothing there. Let's put something in there. Previously, I had, in another previous video, I had put output of a command into a file by directing it here. Now I'm going to run the command echo. So I am sort of making a command, the echo command just spit something out, and it's spitting something out and sending it into a file. So that's just a way for me to control what's in the text file, not the output. Well, it is the output of a command, but it's an output of a command where I wrote the output of the command. Okay, and then if I do, say, cat message.txt, we see what's in there. Hello world. Okay, so I want to make another folder. I want sort of several levels of folder. That's my goal here. So, but I wanted something at each level so that it is, so when I do an ls, and that'll be clear where I am by the, I'll be able to identify where I am by the contents as well as the command line is telling me where I am, but I'll also be able to know by the contents. Okay. So I'm going to make another directory within this directory. So mkdir, and then I'm going to call this one subfolder. And I'm going to move into the subfolder, cd subfolder. So now I'm down at that level, and I'm going to just make a file yet another way with the command called touch. So I'm going to call touch, and I'm going to make a file called touch.txt. And what the touch command does is so I just said touch, which is a command, and then the name of a file. And if the file doesn't exist, it makes it. If the file exists, it will change some of that access information. And so that's what it does. And since I just had the name of the file, that file is located in our current working directory, which is lab1/folder2/subfolder. So we're in that subfolder. If I do an ls, now I see that there's a file called touch.txt down there. Okay, now I want to look at the sort of the ... So I move down in directories, and you move down in directories by using the cd command and their names. But you can move up in directory. Each directory knows its parent, knows who's above it in the tree structure. So if I want to move from subfolder to folder 2, its parent, I can just say cd ... And we see here in the command line that we're in lab1 folder 2. We're no longer in subfolder, and I can also do an ls and see what's there. And that has, I see there the message and the subfolder that I just came up out of. I'm going to move back down into the subfolder. So cd subfolder, I'm moving back down, because now I want to show how to move up 2 levels to go to I will sometimes refer to it as, instead of the parent, the grandparent. So I can do ... /.. So ... the first ... means the parent, and then go to its parent. And I have a comma, so that's why it failed. ... /.. Now let's try it again. Okay, so now I've moved up 2 folders. I was in subfolder, I moved up out of subfolder and up out of folder all the way into lab1, and I can do an ls and see all that stuff I had in the original folder. And now I'm going to go down one more time, cd folder 2, cd folder 2, and cd subfolder. So I'm back down in that deep subfolder, and instead of doing a cd ... I'm going to do an ls ... So I'm going to look at what's in my grandparent rather than move to my grandparent folder. I'm just going to look at the contents of my grandparent folder. And so I'm still in the subfolder, but I'm looking at the contents of its grandparent, which was the lab1 folder. All right, that's what I wanted to show you in this quick little video. Thanks for your attention.